How would you describe the school culture at American Preparatory Academy?
We kind of take our lead from children. Children are naturally loving, altruistic, giving.
Yes.
They're naturally enthusiastic.
Mm-hmm.
They're naturally encouraging of each other. And they love to laugh and have fun.
Yes.
So we take all of those things and we look for adults who would like to live their professional life in that environment.
Yes.
And then we set up ways for we call them bursts of joy to happen daily.
Okay.
We want our kids to be able to express their joy daily in learning and in being with their friends.
Yeah.
And it happens naturally if you have the right environment.
Yeah.
So the adults have to understand what this is and go along. So we train our teachers that they are not to correct students by ever nagging them or saying, where are you supposed to be? Or pick that up. Like, we would never talk to students like that.
Yes.
If you come into our halls, you will feel and hear a difference, and people mention it every time they have a tour.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy. It's positive.
Yes.
We cheer for each other. We have 25 or 30 different cheers the kids learn.
Yes.
And they get to cheer when a student finally gets something. You'll hear a student just cheer for that, and then all the other kids will cheer. It's very short, right?
Yes, yeah.
They'll just say, amazing, one thing, or, just 2 claps for Johnny. Woo! Yes. And then they're done. They're on back to task. But it's this constant celebration feeling for effort. So this culture is one of joy. It's also one of safety. And what I mean by that is that we acknowledge humans are imperfect because of classical model. That's what the human condition is, we're imperfect.
Yes.
So if we start that way, we start from the very early time of the school year when our teachers are teaching during the first week. The administrators go into their classrooms and correct them on something in front of the children. They might have to make a planned error. The teacher may have to make a planned error, spell a word wrong on the board,
yes.
or present something in a way that's not ideal.
Yes.
And the administrator will say, Mrs. Jones, may I have a turn? And she'll step in and teach for a second.
Yes.
And Mrs. Jones will say, oh, thank you so much for making me a better teacher.
Yes.
By modeling imperfection and how we feel about imperfection, we're excited someone's going to help us get smarter. The students are also invited to participate because this is culture-wide. Yes. So if a teacher smells something wrong on the board, the students are taught to raise their hand with a C. And if anyone raised their hand with a C, it means they have a correction for the teacher. Uh-huh. And the teachers are to call on that student immediately.
Yes.
And then the teachers are to respond, obviously, in a positive way. Thank you so much for making that correction so we could all be smarter.
Yes.
When you have that, 2 things, natural joy, enthusiasm, and encouragement, along with the reality that we're imperfect and making mistakes is part of learning, the environment at APA is just very unique. Exactly. And very fun. But it's something that was intentional. And I think that's maybe the best part. My background actually is as a psychiatric nurse in the psychology. It's not an education. Uh-huh. So when we came to create APA, I implemented all of these things that help us in our minds and our hearts to be able to make progress as quickly as possible.
Okay. Not
trip over things that we don't need to trip over. So we're looking for teachers and students and families who want this burst of joy daily because it extends to parents.
Yes.
On the 3-legged stool, my vision is our teachers are feeling joy, our kids are feeling joy, and when our parents are thinking about their kids in school, they're having a little burst of joy, and they're like, oh, I'm so happy my kids are there.
Exactly.
And that's kind of sums it up.